What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Bear Cave. It is QBZ here with an initial impressions of the exotic auto rifle, the Khvostov. Now, I got this today with a couple of subscribers. We grinded through it really quickly, and we're able to get this one within the first few hours of actually exploring the quest within the game. Now, this is going to be a quick summarization of the gun, not really in-depth analysis. I do have some stats from the gun from trying in private matches. I also have a couple of other instances and clips that include the gun in action in Crucible, because you can test it in private matches, but then actually use it in Crucible is two different things considering aim assist and stability on target. Now, a quick summary before you get too late into this video and figure out whether you like this gun or not. Spoiler alert, the gun is very great in PvE and very, very mediocre in PvP. I'm saying that again, the gun is excellent in PvE. I had an absolute blast using it. I would rather use a regular sword or a regular special and use this gun in PvP, in excuse me, in PvE, as opposed to using it in PvP. Now, I went through and I tested all different modes and makes for this. Alright guys, for the initial part of what I used in PvP for the Khvostov was the burst fire. I also tried this with hammer ranged and rifle barrel, even with brace frame to increase stability. For the majority of the time, I use counterbalance. Don't even worry about using extended mag. You want to use counterbalance or rangefinder, and I did it at 450 and 900 RPM. The most inconsistent was definitely the 900 RPM, doing around 15 crit to the head for burst fire with hammer forge and counterbalance. When I tried it in Crucible testing in a private match, did 15 crit to the head and 12 to the base. You can imagine that time to kill is very, very, very long. Now, even doing that with the 450, you had 26 to the head, 21 base, which is really, really, really good as compared to the higher rate of fire. Now, actually using the higher rate of fire, I would not recommend that even for PvE. PvP is definitely off the books as well. Do not bother using this. If there was one mode I would completely suggest foregoing, it is burst fire with 900 RPM from my initial impressions from it. Next, I tried the full auto, and I mixed it up between the different styles right here to try to get a max of, like, depending on the map, depending on the range that I was going to engage the target in. 450 RPM, the slower rate of fire archetype, felt really, really good. I'm not sure if it's Suros regime slow. I believe it's not that slow. I believe it's around Grim Citizen, Hacken's Hatchet, Paleo Contact slow. This gun was very consistent at this point. I actually got a couple of double kills and was actually able to team shot a number of players with my teammates in sixes with this. Now, I don't know about that in threes. If there are much better guns than this, there are a lot of guns that will outclass this gun. But if you're doing sixes and you just want to have some fun and use this gun, you can still remain mostly competitive using this gun. Now, I actually found with the 900 rate of fire that on full auto, it was very, very inconsistent. With that high rate of fire and that impact, you want something with persistence and something that will help with target acquisition. You get neither one of those here. This site mentions grants additional zoom in target acquisition. I did not feel like the aim assist was as prominent as hidden hand on a Doctrine is. This is not a good substitute for a Doctrine. It's not a good substitute for a high rate of fire archetype auto rifle. Overall, this setup with full auto and 900 RPM is pretty mediocre. There's one of two suggestions, and this is one of them. If you're going to run the Khvostov in PvP, I definitely recommend that you run full auto with 450 RPM with counterbalance and rifle barrel. Or if you want to go hammer forged to improve your accuracy and not have to sacrifice on the reload, considering how tiny the magazine is, because you'll be reloading quite often, considering with a Hacken's Hatchet or Paleo Contact you can get 36 rounds of ammunition, go right ahead. But no matter what, after you engage with one guardian and you don't have another guardian you can engage with lower health, or have a grenade or a melee to follow it up, you are definitely going to run into ammo issues in terms of your magazine size. With this setup of this archetype, I suggest that you stay mid to further back, so you want to increase your range because of the small magazine size. One thing I did notice is when guardians tried to get up close and personal, after taking on one guardian, I was unable to take on the next, such as with a Hackle's Hatchet or Paleo Contact. So if you're going to run full auto, definitely run this setup right here. I've experienced the most consistency among the auto rifles and the pulse rifles with this setup. Now finally going to semi-auto for the Khvostov. I pretty much kept it the same with the other ones. I tried it out with all these different ones. The best results I had were with rifle barrel and rangefinder. I could pretty much control the counterbalance, so I wanted to go with a higher effective range with aiming, keeping my distance, especially with running the slower rate of fire archetype. At 450 was definitely one of the most consistent scout rifle experiences I've had outside of Mida, Cole Vance's Duty, and I can't think of the other one at the moment. I cannot think of the other one at the moment. So we're just gonna have to leave it there. But for the scout, for the semi-auto, I would definitely suggest running this setup. On the 900 RPM, it was very, very inconsistent. It had a 15 crit and a 12 base. With that type of rate of fire, if that's not full auto scout rifle, it kind of really defeats the point, because you're going to land so many hits to take a guardian down. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous how many shots you have to get in just to take one guardian down in PvP. For the single rate of fire, Hammer Forge, counterbalance 450 is definitely where you want to go. So the two archetypes that I greatly recommend are full auto with rifle barrel, counterbalance, and 450 RPM, and also for the scout rifle, semi-auto, rifle barrel, rangefinder, and 450 RPM. Those are really the only two viable archetypes for this gun, PvP wise. Now you can do whatever the hell you want, but in PvE, just don't run burst fire and 900 RPM in PvE. Absolute hot garbage. Anything else is pretty much fair game from what I was playing. It's just a lot of fun to use this gun. It can get ridiculous amounts of ammo, so you don't even have to worry about that, because you can get 78 rounds of ammunition in here. What? But for PvP, full auto, 450, counterbalance, rifle barrel, or hammer forged, whatever the hell you want. And for the scout rifle, go with hammer forged or rifle barrel, rangefinder, and 450. Those are literally the best options you have for PvP. Now guys, if you've got the exotic Khvostov, let me know how you feel about this in the comment section below. How consistent was your guys' results? I actually have all the numbers tallied from testing it out. Thank you Game Wizard and Chroma for helping me out with that. For any of the high rate of fire, the crits are just way too low. 14, 15, and 15. It's pretty low. It's pretty low. I definitely suggest 450 has the most consistent damage, and I believe time to kill overall, especially in the auto rifle form and the scout form. So let me know once again what you guys think down below. I will see you guys later. It's been QBZ. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video if it's helped you out, and subscribe for more content, as I will be doing more of these first impressions in hand, and I'll try to have more data as I did on hand right now. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day. Peace.